morning, chat. I know, L background maxing. I know, we're not in Miami quite yet. Other than that, that's okay. Not to future pace too much, but we don't need to be there. I do know where I want to be. Like I said, not to future pace. I do know where I want to be, but it doesn't matter that we're not physically seeing that in a reality quite yet, which is actually what I want to talk about. Um, as you can see, right now, I'm gonna be completely straight up, completely transparent with what is going on. Like, dude, I am living with a roommate. I am growth operating. I am sales management, sales managing, and I am closing as well. Dude, a ton of opportunities have opened up, and I'm thankful for God for it. I'm thankful for God. I'm thankful to God that I am the man. I am the person who is able to do these things and able to have these things and able to have this pressure, able to have this reality that doesn't reflect where I want to be, that gives me external pressure to work on my internal. Now, see, everything just kind of aligns, dude. Everything aligns. I can't complain. At the same time, it sucks sometimes not seeing the exact reality in the physical plane that you see in your internal plane, right? And this internal reality that I live in, it's in Miami, it's in Arizona, Tempe, it's in all these places, but you can't future pace yourself too much. When I say future pace, if you don't know what future pace means, future pace just means like living in the future, detailing your future, describing your future so well, so detailed that you're able to see it and it becomes real. Kind of like manifesting it, right? So when you're taking a sales call and when you're talking to somebody on a sales call and you say, yo, why exactly do you want that money? Like, what exactly does that money kind of get for you? What opportunity does it open up for you? Obviously, it's just paper. It's just money. You hear the birds chirping right now. They're singing. That's what we like. That's why you need to take a walk. No phone, no nothing. I decided to yap a little bit. But yeah, back to sales calls, right? When you're future pace, you're future pacing and you're letting them know, like, what exactly does that money get you? Freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. It's always probably one of those three. Or I can help my family and put them in position, or I can put myself in position to help my family. Okay, cool. But what exactly is the materialistic thing that you always knew that you wanted? Like, at the same time, it's cool that you want to go be able to help somebody out and put your family in position, but you're not quite in position yet. How does that kind of feel? Yada yada yada. Okay, cool. But like, if you were able to go and get that Corvette, right? Like for me, for example, I want a Corvette. What exactly is it for you? And this is how I was saying to what exactly is for you that you materialistically always like imagine getting? Oh, I want to live in a penthouse, want to get this and that. Cool, yeah. So that whole thing is like future pacing, right? I kind of just went on a little tangent of what it would sound like if I were to like ask somebody on the sales call, like, what exactly is it that you want? What exactly is it that you would get materialistically? Like, people can want to put their family in position. They want to help other people, but they can't help themselves. In this period of life, dude, you have to learn to be very, very selfish. I actually was talking about this on the phone with one of my friends. I was this close to calling them one of my sales reps because I am managing an offer. But honestly, dude, like, this person is super, super cool. I go into really deep conversations with my reps just because I don't like that superficial vibe that I get from like sales managers and reps, like sales managers and their reps. Like, sales managers will literally only talk about like, dude, like, freaking numbers and metrics. It's just so boring. But one thing I do want to say is that I have a really good relationship with all my reps because I feel like I get down to the nuts and bolts of things, which is not just the nitty gritty of numbers, metrics, how are we doing, how did your calls go, where's your fathom, let me review it. No, yo, how are you doing? Like, sales aside, like, what's going on? Because at the end of the day, the external pressure, right, the external that we have, this external reality that we have, it puts a lot of pressure on us, or it gives us a lot of comfortability, or it makes us very skeptical of our future vision that we have. It just makes us, my arm's getting tired, even with this little light camera. It makes us move different. There's two things that make us move different: reality and money. Our environment and money. Our environment and money are two things that make us, like, they have ways of making us move different, dude. Like no decision we make is not because of money. Every decision we make is because of money. All right, I'm living here because of money. You're living in that house because of money. You're living in that mansion because of money. You're living in that penthouse because of money. You're living in that box because of money. So everything we do is influenced because of money. All right, I watched this guy named Jeremy Haynes. He puts things into very, very good perspective, as in, like, dude, if your mom is sick and you decided to move across the country, and your mom is still at that home point across the country, and she gets sick and she has an emergency and you have to hop on a flight, you're not hopping on a PJ. If she just had a tumor, God forbid, out of nowhere, and you just decided to move all across the country, all the way across the country, and your mom just God forbid something happened, all right, you have to hop on a flight and you have to hurry up and go help her. But you can't even get on there the next day, right? You can't get on there the same night. You can't get on there. You can't even make a call and make that happen in the next 30 minutes. But if you had the money, you could. If you had the money, there's nothing stopping you, nothing preventing you, right? That's why it's like, on this beautiful Money Monday, by the way, it is Money Monday, we have to get richer. We have to get richer. That said, dude, I really want to stress the importance of ignoring this reality that you see. I was about to get my camera out, and then I almost stopped myself, and I almost did not obey God, which is the small voice in my head that says, very, very small but very impactful, right? There's a very big difference. I'm about to go another tangent. There's a very, very big difference between the small, impactful voice, which is God, and the loud, annoying voice, which is the enemy, which is you, right? The enemy is you because we tend to get in our own way. The enemy is you because when you listen to yourself, this is the reality that you create, right? Instead of God, which is in us, in the kingdom of heaven, lives in us. That said, internally, we're perfect. Externally, we're imperfect. Even though, yeah, we are made in the image of God. This is just my truth. Externally, we're imperfect. I don't think we're perfect. Externally, I don't. Because this is the reality that we make, right? But once your internal is perfect, and once you're able to see that, once you're conscious of that, your external will become perfect. Your external will have no choice but to be perfect, because the energy and the frequency that you're on internally, which is perfection, which is beauty, which is bliss, which is peace, will reflect on your external. It will reflect on your external, right? That said, I was this close to listening to I was this close to not listening to the impactful voice this morning, right? Where it said, pull out the camera, take a walk, no phone, pull out the camera. It said, Kalima, pull out the camera. This will be your first win of the day. Bar for bar, word for word. I'm telling you straight. I'll shoot straight with you. It said, bar for bar, word for word, pull out the camera. Walk, listen to the birds chirp, breathe, and talk and yap for minutes straight. And I don't know who's listening to it, but this will be my first win of the day. Now, if I hadn't listened to this voice, I would have just been walking. Would have been a good walk. No win for the day at the top of the morning, besides maybe making my bed. But I'll be real, I'm sleeping on the floor right now. We haven't fully unpacked everything. Realistically, I don't even have a bed right now. I don't feel like getting one. I might get like an air mattress or something like that, but I don't plan on living with my friend for too long. This is the level of transparency I do want to keep with you guys, and whatnot. But I'll be real, I almost didn't listen to that. That small, little impactful voice in your head, that small, little impactful voice is God. What else would hold you accountable in such a way? And I'll tell you this, a little, like how my morning went, and I'll give you an example. All right, I woke up, I washed my clothes, I walked outside, and it's so crazy. Like, the only reason why I walked outside after washing my clothes, right? I threw my clothes in the washer. I had some clothes from this old 9 to 5 I used to work. I'm not going back to that 9 to 5. Fuck that 9 to 5, dude. But I went to go throw it out at a little dumpster, like down the street somewhere over there. And I was like, dude, it's so peaceful out here. The birds are singing and chirping and stuff like that. It's perfect weather. I got my hoodie on. It's hoodie weather this morning, even though it is summer. I said to myself, I says, Kalima said, I need to go on a walk. No phone. Yeah. Birds chirping. Air flowing, right? Trees is dancing because the wind is at the perfect speed and rate, right? Not to get all scientific on you, not to get all descriptive on you, right? The ground is that 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 neutral color because it looked like a damn near rain last night, right? You can smell the clouds from above as if it was this close to raining, but it's not. Just the wind is flowing at the right time, right? Perfect conditions. I feel like Dr. Seuss. Perfect conditions. When there's silence, you allow space for God. The silence allows space for God. If I were to open up my phone this morning, if I were to get on my phone this morning, I would have been distracted from God. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't check my phone one time, but I put it right down right after. I did not let it kind of hinder the morning haze, because you have this haze in the morning where you're like just waking up, you know? It's not super duper clear, but if you follow a structure and follow the right path, everything becomes clear. You know, like making your bed, doing your morning winds, following your routine, your morning ritual, everything becomes like super clear. But yeah, that said, it's like, dude, I did that this morning. I got my morning winds. I came outside. I was throwing away those old 9-to-5 clothes. Symbolically, it felt like I was just stamping myself into the future. I was like placing myself in the future, like anchoring myself in this future, anchoring myself in this position of, dude, there is no going back. There was never an option. Symbolically, throwing away those clothes was like, yeah, there's no turning back. Symbolically, there was never a way to turn back because you're back against the wall, because your back is against the wall. That is what it meant symbolically to me this morning. After doing that, pulled out my camera and just went all in. And when your back is against the wall, it has a way of making you move. Because you can only move forward. When your back is against the wall, can you turn back? Can you look back? There's nothing back to look at. There's nothing back to look at. There's nothing to turn around and look back at. Right? So, environment and money have a way of making you move. So put your back against the wall and move forward. I can keep yapping and going on and on. The next thing I think I want to yap about, which Seth is my first name, y'all. My first government name. None of you guys call me that. Kalima. Make sure you timestamp this and make sure in the next video you're talking about creating a new identity, creating a new version of yourself. Because that is what's going to take you to that next level. That's what's going to take you to that next level. Other than that, I'm signing off. It was good talking to y'all boys and girls. It was a good morning, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.